You clawed your way back against Monroe. Tonight you got a fast start and led from start to finish. What was different?
You know, I just, our mindset was terrific, you know, and it's the mindset we need. And, you know, when I look at this season, I look at our team, so many new guys. We got transfers, a few guys from last year, freshmen. We're trying to blend it all together. We're trying to get guys minutes. We're trying to figure out rotations. They're trying to figure out us. We're trying to figure out them. You know, I kind of knew this would happen, but we've had some real challenges, some tough games, tough road trips, and then a tough game at home where we really played poorly for 34 minutes or whatever. And yet we have real character on this team and a belief that we're bonded on a single mission, and we're all going to give, and we're all going to sacrifice, and we're all going to try to figure out how we can become an outstanding team. That is our message, and that's what we've been really working on. And to me, this was really our first big step of a breakout of, okay, we're all settling into, okay, we're all gonna buy into guarding, we're gonna buy into sharing the ball, we're gonna buy into not caring who does what. Now, that doesn't mean it's always gonna be that way, but it was certainly, the mindset tonight was great. It was great, and it's a very positive step. We need to build off of that, and you know, I hope we will. So I'm really proud of our guys. Played phenomenal defense, 23 assists, 30 baskets, and just a lot of other things. We got guys on the team now, you know, saying, well, you know, let him start, or I don't care if I start, let him start, or let him run that play instead of me. And when you start getting that and that builds, that becomes a real team. And over the course of months, which is a season, months and months, that's what's important, is building that camaraderie, along with the mentality that we have to all not let each other down defensively. We can't be a team that doesn't scratch and claw every single possession, and that's what we're trying to get to, and tonight was a step towards that, our biggest step towards that.
Jalen said you didn't share much with him as far as why he's starting. Could you share some details with us?
Yeah. Probably not very good at that. It's just, you know, I don't know what to tell him on that, other than, hey, you've been playing great, you know. But to really put it out there, Jalen is a guy that I noticed early on that is, I would say as of right now, arguably our #1 attention to detail player. In other words, whatever we teach, he hears it the first time, he does it, he absorbs it, he feels it, and I've been watching that. And he's also a guy that has never, his mindset has been so pure, he's never demanded a shot, never forced plays. He's a great teammate, ball mover, he's very athletic. You can see that he can shoot the ball. He just does so many right things when you're the coach. I love guys like Jalen. You know, teams in the past that we've had, even prior to here, when you get 5 to 7 or 8 guys that are incredibly attention to detail, I mean, they really are on it, that's how you go like this. And I just love those guys, and I see that he's grown into a guy that I think can really, really help us. He did a great job on their leading scorer. He was all over the scouting report, all over it, you know, and that's a freshman starting in his first game. Just really proud of him, but zero surprised, zero. I just have seen it day after day after day. I'm amazed at what he picks up and how much he tries to do exactly what we're teaching.
Is this your best game of the year?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I'm not surprised. I didn't expect that. You know, I didn't. I mean, and it doesn't mean we're going to play, of course, great every time, or you know, it's not. But it shows that we can. It shows that we can be what we think we can be, I'm also not surprised at all in the early games that we've had some we played well, and teams that we should play well against, and some others we lost. The Missouri game was, that's a heartbreaking game. We got a lead most of the whole game, and it goes to overtime, and Loyola, we have a big lead, and we let that slip away. So, but I'm also not surprised at those things, because those are really quality teams, and we're still a total work in progress. I read an article, I won't say who, but a coaching friend of mine, that he just put it all out there, kind of, and it sounded like, are you talking about our team or your team, where we have all these guys, they deserve to play, and sometimes it's kind of on me. Sometimes I may be subbing out of the best situation, because we're still trying to figure out who we are. These guys are all new to me, they are, and some of them have not played nearly as well as they are good players. Here's an example. Michael Weathers was tremendous tonight. Michael Weathers is a talented player. He's been struggling for us, but I've seen him in the past. I know who he is, so he's finding his way within what we do. A lot of these guys have been the go-to guy on their team. Well, everybody can't be a go-to guy. We got to all figure out how to blend together, and I got to figure out a rotation. I got to figure out, a little bit better roles, and it's not something that I don't think a coach can do in 6, 8, 10 games. I think it's going to take a lot more time. But I'm just appreciative of the buy-in that I saw today. Now, can we sustain that? Is that going to be who we are, that we put the biggest premium on giving, which is defending and rebounding and being unselfish? If your giving quotient is really, really high, then you're usually going to play pretty good. So that's my hope. But we certainly had a lot of guys play really, really, really well, and we played very, very well. I do want to say something else that I just can't, because it's just kind of surreal to me. Lon Kruger was my assistant coach when I was a player many, many years ago at Kansas State, and he was someone very important to me. We spent a lot of time together. We played one-on-one basketball and tennis and ping pong, and you name it. We were battling each other, and we became very close. And then he gave me my start in college basketball. My first year out of college, I was an institutional stockbroker in Beverly Hills, believe it or not, and then I decided to really up my salary, and I became a GA, and I made $100 a month, and I lived in a dorm, and Lon hired me, and that was 38 or whatever years ago. So not only was he somebody important to me, but he gave me my start. But what's even more incredibly surreal is when I was a GA, I would be at his house an awful lot, just spending time. And at the time, I also had some duties to feed his son, spoon feed his son. And his son's name was Kevin. And so I just coached against a guy who I was spoon feeding when he was a baby. And there's something a little bit surreal about that, to say the least. I'm proud of Kevin. He was an outstanding player. Lon was an incredible coach, as we all know, and a great player. And it's really cool for me to see that Kevin is the head coach. Every now and then I would look down and this is too weird for me. This is really strange. He was just a little baby. I didn't know how to feed a baby. I was taught. That's also how I learned how to feed a baby, right there. Lon and Barb taught me that. So I just wanted to mention that, because it's a full circle.
Given your history with the Kruger family, can you share anything about what you and Kevin Kruger said to each other either before or after tonight's game?
I can't. Well, part of it, just talking about his dad, and part of it was, being a first-year head coach. I remember when I was first-year head coach, I think I was 32 or whatever, and the difference between, and I always tell assistants that have never been a head coach, I was a brilliant assistant coach. I really was. I knew everything that we should do, and it's like, how come the head coach doesn't see this? And oh my God, it's so easy. How can you not see this, And then you're the head coach, and you're like, holy cow, there's 40,000 things that he's thinking about. No wonder he didn't. But as an assistant, you get to pick, well, I'm just going to watch how they're guarding this, and then, can't you see that all you got to do is, except he's thinking about, well, who do I sub? How many timeouts? What did they just run? What might they run? So-and-so just tweaked his ankle, and is he going to come back? you know, the head coach has got 4,000. So I was talking to him about that, like, it's a lot different than you thought. But he's really enjoying it, you know, and he's going to do a great job. And he's a very smart basketball guy. And you know, they had Wichita beat, as you guys probably know. And then if they fouled with 5 seconds, it was, or less maybe, they took the lead with 5. And that would have been a big win. They played Michigan very close not long ago. So we have a lot of respect for their team. Old team, you know, point guard, senior from West Virginia, old Texas guys, couple Texas guys. You know, they've got some guys, and so we respected them a lot, as you could tell by the way we came out. You know, we knew this would be a tough game.
So how do you see this rotation shaping up at this point?
I don't know yet.
You got a fourth of the season in.
Yeah, you know, we just got to keep playing games. I mean, I don't want to rush to judgment, and it'll ebb and flow a little bit. And guys will, here's kind of what's happened with us, and exactly like I said, I won't mention the other school, but he was saying exactly what's here. We've got, if you look at our practices, including summer, when we came up to the games, normally, this is really an anomaly, almost always you're just sure, like, these are our top 5 or 6, these are our 8. These guys, it's not been that way at all in practice. And we go home, we've been going home for months going, how are we going to do this? Because the separation hasn't taken place like it normally does. And again, the other guy that I'm talking about, it sounds exactly, and he's sorting through the same things that I am. But, you know, that's coaching. That's our job. I want to be fair to guys and give them minutes, but I also want to, you know, we got to be fair to the best players, and when we make sure that they're on the floor the most, and we got to, more than anything else, got to trigger what gives us the best chance to win. But it's not, you know, it's not done. We're still, these guys will play their way into it. They'll play their way, they'll earn their way, and it will sort itself out. It just hasn't yet. The sample size is too small. Why? Because in a short little season of 5 or 6 games, maybe you were not playing great for 3 games. So if we quickly judge that, well, you're not going to be the guy, I think we're making a big mistake. You got to give it some time. You got to let guys become comfortable who they are, and then make those decisions.
You mentioned Michael Weathers, and it's easy to look at, I think he had 4 dunks tonight, but he shot the ball well, 5 of 7. He gave you 9 rebounds, 6 assists. What got into him? Did you change anything with him in the way you used him, or the way you worked with him in practice?
Make me sound smarter, wouldn't it? But no, I didn't know. It's just, you know, we tell him we believe in him. I told him, I know how good you are. I watched you. We recruited him in high school. I watched him play in high school. I watched him play, you know, through his career. I know how good he is, and I know that for him, first of all, where he came from last year, you know, they played the NCAA tournament. He's the guy with the ball in his hand the whole time. Well, how big an adjustment is that when we have a point guard who's got the ball a lot, and deservedly so. He's one heck of a player. So there's a big adjustment. And then it's like, okay, now you got quite a few other guys that have had a lot of success. And how do you blend that together? This is basketball. You know, this is. Look at the NBA when they you know, put teams together. Sometimes it takes them time, and he's just got to get comfortable. He'll find it. But what I like is their character. They're not you know, complaining or whatever. We're all in it together, and we're trying to figure out how we can maximize everybody's ability.
Yeah, it looks to me when Tristan gets on the court, there's a certain calm about him, and it seems to spread to the whole team. Would you comment on that?
Yeah, I think that's a good observation. Tristan does have a calm about him. You know, that's just kind of in life. He's that way. But as a basketball player, he really did. You could feel that. You're right. You're exactly right. He's very efficient. You know, he just kind of knows. He feels the game. He's kind of a count ahead a lot. Doesn't hurry. Doesn't rush, and yet can find his way without trying to score even. You know, he's not even really trying to score. He's really trying to be a blend. Another guy that's being incredibly unselfish, you know. At one time, he was the bell cow several years ago when he was healthy at Baylor. He was the guy going to work, throw me the ball, throw me the ball. You know, those were days, different days. He's not in the same health. So he's found this, we're always finding this new game, but you're exactly right. He makes me feel calm. He's a very good all-around basketball player. And he's not, you know, he doesn't get the reps. We're trying to make darn sure. And that's his biggest goal. He wants to play the whole year. You know, he hasn't played the whole year in a long, long time. A long time. He wants to play the whole year, and we want to try to help that. So he's playing like that with very little practice time, which is amazing, really.
You mentioned that you've got another point guard who has the ball in his hands an awful lot, and we're 16 minutes into this conversation. We haven't said the name Kendrick Davis yet. How much did you hold your breath when he hit the deck in the second half and got looked at by the trainer? And overall, he finished with 18 points, 8 assists. What did you think of Kendrick's performance?
Well, he was terrific. He's done. It's kind of every game, and so that's kind of why we're not talking about it, right? Because it's just so, hey, Kendrick again, you know. That scared me a little bit. Yeah, maybe a lot. A lot. And moving forward, especially, you know, because you know how those things can go. So I was very, very happy when they, you know, we got to send him back in. So looks like he'll be fine.